Silver and Blood has a massive issue with bloat right now. We have too many characters, we have too many resources to farm, and we're daily locked on everything. And not only are we daily locked, but we don't even have an acceptable quality of life system for doing these dailies. Let's go on a little journey here to see what it takes to build a character in Silver and Blood. So first, you start off, you pull, you get the character you want. This could take, one pull. It could take 100 pulls. Who knows? It's a gamble every time. So you get the character you want. So now we got to build them. Leveling up is actually the easiest part because you can either level them up manually, but what you're supposed to do is just level up 5 characters and then slot the rest down here, and they're going to copy the level of your 5th highest level character. Pretty easy. Leveling up is not too bad. And you're going to be gate kept by the divine blood drops here, which you're going to get about 40 per hour. And you need 10,000 per level. It's only going to take you about a week per level. No big deal. So yeah, we got the character here we want, and we leveled her up. Let's go to the gear. So there are 9 tiers of gear. You can see here, this is a tier 9 piece of gear, but it is not a faction specific piece of gear, which is what we're looking for. So when you get a faction specific piece of gear, you can level that up to 5, and then you can echo it with a soul strike. This resets the level back to 0 and effectively upgrades it to a tier 10 piece of gear. So what are these over here? The Echo Blessings. Well, when you use a Soul Strike, you randomly roll 3 different lines of stats here. The first line is guaranteed to have a stat, the second has a lower chance, and then the third has an even lower chance of appearing. To roll at least having a stat that you want in every slot, it's going to take anywhere from like 50 to 100 Soul Strikes. And then you're going to have to lock the ones you want to keep every reroll attempt, which is going to cost you 1 soul strike to lock it. And then for every lock stat you have, it's going to take an extra soul strike every time you reroll. So right now, if I wanted to recast this with a locked stat, it would take me 2 soul strikes instead of 1. And then you get all the stats you want, and then you got to do refinement to re-roll the level of the stat. And again, every time you lock the stat that you want, you're gonna need to pay an extra soul strike. So right here, we need gear, we need faction specific gear, we need resources to level the gear. So other pieces of gear, and these, we'll just call them rocks. We got rocks here to level up our gear, and we need Soli. So there we go. Just to level up gear, we've got like 6 different resources we gotta worry about, but we're not done. So you see here, we have overheat blessings, and you need Soul Strike Bellows for this. Soul Strike Bellows are used to roll specifically defensive stats on a different tab here. So Soul Strikes and Soul Strike Bellows are not mutually exclusive. You can have them both on a piece of gear. The difference between Soul Strike and the Bellows is that the Bellows are gear specific. So what do I mean? There is a different Soul Strike Bellows for every piece of gear. There is one for a ring, one for a helmet, one for a back piece, and one for whatever the heck this piece of gear is called, an amulet. So there's 4 different types of bellows, and they all come from different sources, different boss fights that you have to do. Wow, that's a lot of resources already, but we're not done yet. Not even close. Now we move on to skills. So you have your basic attack, you have your special, you have your ultimate. Thankfully, you don't have to level the passive. Thank God. So what do we have here? Well, Shone's basic is at level 7, and to level it up, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of materials. But the one that's going to be the biggest pain point are the purple pages here. Now, the reason for this is that every single level of an ability requires these purple pages. Every character is going to need these, and you're going to need a lot of them. Okay, so to level this ability from 7 to 8, I need 420 nice purple pages. So how many do you get per day? I think it's about 100. I might be a little bit off, but we're not trying to be precise here. So you're gonna get about 100 of these pages per day, and you need 420 nice to level this ability once from 7 to 8, and the max isn't until 10. So already there, it's gonna take you about 4 to 5 days to level this ability once. One ability out of 3. The special uses the same resources, and you can see this one's level 8, and to level it up to 9, I'm gonna need an additional 40 pages. So to level this ability up twice, it's going to take about 9 days. We're gonna talk about the problems with investing into characters a little bit later, but for now, we can see that it takes a long time to level up your skills. The ultimates use different resources. Thankfully, these 2 different types of books and, I don't know, tablets come from the same source, so we don't have an extra farm to do for both of them. Thank God. These crystals primarily come from PvP. You do get some from the same source as the pages and the tablets that you use to level up skills, but the thing is that you get a random assortment of them and not exactly the ones that you want. And as you can see, you need a lot of them. These are used in all 3 skills, and just to level it from 8 to 9, you need 200 of these crystal balls. Also, every different role of character has a different crystal ball that they need. Skills are expensive. Got it. Nice. Artifacts. Now, artifacts can be equipped to different characters at a time. For example, I have the Eye of Truth here. It can be equipped simultaneously to 4 different vassals. That's really not that much. You're going to be wanting to swap these all the time based on what activity you're doing. You only have to get these once, thankfully, and then you just got to level them. So how do you level them up? Well, you get blueprints. And blueprints really only have one source, and that is the clan shop here. You can buy 50 blueprints per month with clan crests, and once you get to level 4, I think it's like 30 blueprints to level it up once, and then at level 5 it's like 50. So you can level up an artifact once a month at best. We used to have alternative sources for these blueprints from activities that they used to offer, but we haven't had them in quite a while, so we can only assume that they're dead. So how do you get the clan crests? Well, you do your clan sign in, you get 50 each day. You can give yourself a little heart here to get an extra 50, and then the rest are going to come from clan hunts, which happen once a month and are going to net you, we're just going to guesstimate here, like 10,000 a month. So that's artifacts. Now, let's get to the really juicy new thing that they added for character building. So, this is the Soul Heirloom Vault. And for each one of these nodes, there are 10 of them, you are required to have a dupe of a character. So, once you get one dupe, you unlock this node here, which is known as a Resonantia. And Resonantias give extra passive effects to your characters, and they're very strong. So we have an idle game like Nikke with the dupe system of a game like Genshin. And you can see that these Resonantia nodes, some of them at least, have these little red dots here. Well, that's where this comes into play. You can level up the entire Soul Heirloom Vault by using resources such as these. Seeds of Origin, Advanced Seed of Origin. Every different faction has their own set of resources required for leveling the Soul Heirloom Vault. So, for the Soul Heirloom Vault, you need dupes of characters, and you need these resources. Also, we have an affinity ranking, of course. You level this up by giving the character gifts. You can also do council meetings every day to give you like the equivalent of 1 gift worth of affinity to 5 different characters. So we've covered everything here that we need to know about building a character, like what you need to invest in. So how do you get all of these resources? Well, I went over the clan ones. Let's go into the actual farming. So here's the most recent abomination they've added to the game, the Void of Shadow. So here we have 4 different boss fights. You can do them 3 times each day, assuming that they are available on the day that you're doing them. On Sunday, every single boss is available. The first 2 alternate with the second 2 on which days they're available. So today we have Cradle of Blood, Silver Doctrines. You gotta do this 3 times per day, and then you gotta do this 3 times per day. I'm not gonna go over the quick clearing just yet, but just know that we are severely lacking a appropriate system for sweeping activities. So you gotta do this. Then you have the Time-Worn Mausoleum. This activity takes about 8 minutes. It's really boring. It's really brain dead. There's no challenge at all. This is how you're gonna get your skill books. You have to do this every day. Again, takes about 8 minutes. Those boss fights I just went over, they take about 2 minutes per attempt. So you're looking at anywhere from like 12 to 24 minutes of your time. Then we have the Tomb of the Fallen here, and this is specifically the Haunted Sepulchre. You can do any of these boss fights, assuming that they're all available when you're watching this video. As for now, it's only the Crypt of Doom and Temple of Light that are available. You can do anything in this activity a maximum of 3 times. So you could do Crypt of Doom once and Temple of Light twice, but you can't do anything more than 3 times. And that resets every day. This is how you're going to get soul strikes. This is how you're going to get faction gear. This is how you're going to get resources to upgrade the gear. This is gear centric stuff. And this is also how you're going to get the bellows. Each boss drops a different type of bellows. So if we go back to the crystal balls, I mentioned that they drop, or the same place that you get the skill books, you get these, the Fading Crystal Balls of the Nameless, and they're going to give you a random crystal ball when you use it. You get 24 of these per day, so it's going to take you a long time to get, like, say, 200 of a specific type that you need. How do you deal with that? Well, you're going to go to the arena, and you're going to get these little triangular slabs. This is the currency used in the PvP shop, the Mark of Bravery. And you can get these from the Crucible, which gives you passively accrued rewards. You don't really have to do this activity every day, but you should be doing the Gauntlet every day, which is going to take you like 10 minutes of just going through loading screens mostly. So yeah, let's look at how long you're going to spend doing dailies each day. So I actually haven't been doing Infinite Abyss that much, mostly because I have to be really thoughtful about the manual play I do at this stage, and I just can't be bothered. But this will take anywhere from like 5 to 20 minutes, honestly, depending on how difficult it is for you or what stage you're at. So then you got Void of Shadow, which is going to take like another 12 to 20 minutes. You get Time-Worn Mausoleum. It's going to take you about 8 minutes. You got your arena. Can take you like, I guess, depending on how competitive you are and how much you want to try to do Crucible each day, this can take anywhere from like 5 to 20 minutes as well. And you got the Tomb of the Fallen. This is probably going to take about 10 minutes to do 3 clears. That sounds about like half an hour to an hour of dailies, depending on how seriously you take them. That's a lot. That's a lot of chores to do for one game. And we're not even covering the other like menu clicking. You gotta go through the castle, do your expeditions, and gather your Moonlight tribute, and do your meetings. And then you got your you've got your monthly events, and sometimes there's mini games here that you gotta do, and that's gonna take you like another 5 to 10 minutes clicking through the shops. So wouldn't it be nice if you could just quick clear or sweep these activities? Man, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Well, if you want to sweep an activity, you have to spend one of these, a nameless pact. It is one pact per attempt of an activity. So if you wanted to knock out all of the Void of Shadow bosses for the day, and it's not a Sunday, you could spend all 6 of your nameless packs to sweep that activity. And for reference, you get 6 of these per day. But fret not, because you can go to the store and buy 2 for 50 moon tears. Wow, what a bargain. I'm just kidding. This sucks. This is insulting. It is actually insulting. If you want to save a few minutes of your time per day, you have to pay 50 moon tears every time. Oh, what? Do you want to refresh the shop after you've used your free refresh? Just spend another 100 moon tears and then you can buy another 2 for 50 moon tears each. This is insane. Okay, to recap, we spent all 6 of our daily clears on the Void of Shadow. So we have to manually clear the Time Worn Mausoleum, which is gonna take about 8 minutes. We have to manually clear the Tomb of the Fallen, which is gonna take like 10 minutes. You can't use the quick clears in the Blood Arena, so there's no time savers there. But wait, it's a Sunday. You still have 2 boss fights you have to do. That's another 12 minutes of your time. So like, at best, you're gonna still be spending like 20 minutes doing dailies every day, even with quick clears that you're limited on. And if you want more, you have to pay your premium currency that you use for pulls. All right, now that I've complained about the abomination that is the daily chores that you have to do in this game, let's talk about the issue of power creep and just way too many characters being added to the game. So for a while now, it's been 2 new characters every single month. And now, before I told you about the investment required to level these characters up, it may not have seemed too bad to have 2 characters every month. Like, yay, woohoo, we get 2 new characters every month to play with. No, the reality is that you're gonna be building the characters that you pulled for 2 months ago while accumulating and spending all of your pulls on these new characters that are gonna be power crept before you even get a chance to build them. So you know what? It doesn't matter how free-to-play friendly the game is with pulls, because you're never gonna get to build the characters that you pull for. I haven't even touched upon the atrocity they committed by having a dual banner, which had a 1.6% drop rate for one of the featured vassals and a 0.4% drop rate for the other. The half anniversary is the first fully voiced event we've gotten in months. We still have like 3 or 4 chapters of the main campaign that aren't voiced. I haven't experienced voiced main campaign chapters since like September. But don't worry, guys, like this system is way more important. Like, oh god, this is disgusting. And you know, going back to pulls, let's talk about that a little bit. The first couple of months of this game, new banners, they would give us free pulls on them. When I started, I got 50 free pulls on Fleeting Bella. And then they were like, oh no, we're not gonna do that anymore, but every second character we release, you're gonna get a free copy of them, assuming they do 2 banners in a single month. Okay, cool. So we got free copies of like Agnes and Albrecht. But then Alexi and Livian came around, 2 new characters in the same month. They got put on the same banner, and we didn't get a free copy of them. Oh, wait. Well, you could get a free copy of Livian if you pulled 150 times on the banner. Yeah, technically, you get a free copy of her. You just, gotta invest all of your life savings on the banner. And then we used to get more pulls from events. So we would get 20 Vestiges of Love and 20 Soothing Embraces. Soothing Embraces standard pulls, Vestiges of Love is limited pulls. We would get 20 of these from each event. Starting with Aline's event, that's no longer the case. We only get 10 now. There is nothing I can say to summarize the state of the game other than they are just exhausting players. They are exhausting players with chores to do, farms they have to do, too many characters to pull for, and perpetually not enough resources to do what we want to do in the game, which is use the characters that we get and do fun content. But no, they're limiting how far we can build characters, they're limiting how many characters we can get, and in the case of, you know, Haunted Sepulcher, they're limiting our power because all of these stages are level locked at 200. And if you're trying to progress on something like 4, 5, or 6, that means you need nigh perfect rolls on every character's piece of gear, multiple dupes, high multiples of dupes, and high investment in soul heirloom vaults. I can't even dream of doing floor 6 within like by the time the anniversary comes around, honestly. But yeah, I mean, this pretty much sums up probably most people's issue with the current state of the game. I didn't even touch on like every problem I have with the game, but all of those other problems don't really matter. And Silver and Blood isn't even going to have whales to milk if they keep exhausting everyone with how many dailies you have to do and limiting our ability to sweep them. Nobody wants to log into an idle game and spend 45 minutes every day just to barely keep up with their power. This game's only 6 months old and they've added so many BS systems to the game that we have to keep up with and invest into. I can't imagine the state of the game 6 months from now. But yeah, I just wanted to voice my opinion on these issues and basically present a place for everybody else to talk about it as well. Because I see it on like every single video I post, people leaving comments about how they're exhausted, there's too much to do, and how the game just doesn't respect their time or their money. So figured I should talk about it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my extremely long rant here, but there's a lot of things that needed to be said. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.